Me. Listen, I met this young lady about a couple of weeks ago. We got her on. Look, I was fast at booking her real fast. Look, I very nice, very humble. Wasn't no plain no Miss Thing type of thing. I mean, she was very down to earth. Give us your name, my friend.
Naisha Randall. Glad to be here.
Give her a big hand. And my sister, I am so glad you are here. Let me tell you how we met. You came down to take care of something down here at the store, right? Yes. And then I think Orlando, give Orlando, my producer, a big hand, you know. Yeah. And you were singing along. So what song you were singing along?
I was singing Autumn Leaves.
Oh my God.
Falling leaves drip by my window. The falling leaves are all red and gold. I see your lips, those summer kisses, the sunburned hands I used to hold. Since you went away, the days are long, and soon I'll hear old winter's song, but I miss you most of all, my darling, when autumn leaves start to fall.
Hey, hey, hey! That's why you see I grabbed her real fast. Look, what the old friend of mine told me, she said, one thing she said, you know how to spot talent. And Lord, you're a very talented young lady. Do you sing often or what?
In the shower.
In the shower? Wow. Oh my goodness, like they ain't at the shower. Oh my goodness. Who you idolize, you know, as
Oh wow, I have so many singers that I love, and I have to tell you that I mean, of course I love Whitney Houston. I have a wide range of people I appreciate. I like Neil Diamond.
Yeah.
I was listening to America this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that song?
A horse with no name.
You know that song?
A Ventura Highway.
Yes.
Ventura Highway. Do you believe you could do magic?
Yes.
Oh, I used to, you know, we put a lot of pop records on here too, you know. Like I said, I put right out the application, you know, one of the stations said, well, who you try to cater to? I said to the general market.
Yes.
You know, we try to cater to the general market. Remember Soul Train? You know, it went to I was on a black format, but it looked like a whole lot of white folks liking the show too. Everybody all over the world liking that show, right?
That's true.
Let's give Don a big tribute, a big hand.
Oh yeah. I love. And what was so nice is that they had a Soul Train line when in honor of Don Cornelius.
Yes, down
in Times Square.
Yes.
And I heard about it too late. Of course, I don't know if I would have gone.
Yeah.
But I think it was a wonderful way and a wonderful demonstration of the how people felt about him and paying back.
Yeah.
And letting go of all that conditioning that we can't dance in the street. It's like, what?
You know, on this note, you know, it's been, you know, as of this tape, it's been a year in 20, you know, as a tape in 2012, it's been some year for us. You know, we lost Whitney, we lost Chuck Brown, Busting Loose. We also lost Dick Clark. What's your thought about Dick Clark?
I heard about Dick Clark, yes. He was what, the oldest teenager?
Yeah. Rocky New Year's Eve, you there ain't no party, but without him doing Rocky New Year's Eve.
Yes, and I thought it was so interesting. Huh? Donna Summer. Donna
Summer,
yes.
Yes.
Just Donna Summer.
Yes.
And I think in entertainment field, people have to be very, very careful. It's there's so many reports about what has really happened. We don't really know, but there's something that I've heard that a lot of the singers that are really reach a certain plateau may not really live long lives. You know, and that's a very interesting thought. You know, why? They become a commodity. And sometimes maybe they're more valuable dead than alive. So that's just a so it's something to think about. I won't say I know that's true, but I've heard and I'm pondering deeply. So it's a commercialization of talent, and sometimes there's a lot of talent out here.
A lot of good talent.
There's a tremendous amount of talent, but it's just sad that they cannot reach full fruition. And even with Michael Jackson, who it took me a while to get over that. I mourned him. I
still can't get over it.
Right, exactly.
You know, I hear on the radio that he still stay alive. You know, on the radio now.
Yes. What a phenomenal talent. He was actually very, very powerful in my eyes. When he passed away, I went into the subway and I saw groups of people in Queens. I live in Manhattan, not far from here. And I saw groups of people from other ethnicities, people from Russia, maybe people from Eastern Europe who were just fascinated by him. He had an audience. So I call that the power of his influence. He had influence. It wasn't the type of influence that people will think is a dictator. But I think that influence can be threatening to people. You know, that he could have that much of a pull on the masses, that much a pull on the influence on the young people. So it creates quite a question.
You know, I think also too about, you know, the passing of Whitney Houston too. Yes. You know, how much influence that that she had on people too. Yes.
Very, 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 very sad. And it's there is a case that's going on right now about it because of there is an investigation, and there are a couple of gray areas.
Yeah.
So
well, we're going to talk about, you say you having a movement called the World.
Yes.
Tell us about this World Peace Movement.
We are part of the biggest World Peace Movement. And you know, the question is, a lot of people say, oh, we'll never have peace. But there are some people that are very serious about it and who are making concrete efforts. Now, peace is something that I belong to a World Peace Organization, the Soka Gakkai. Have you heard of the Soka Gakkai?
Yes.
Yeah, they're a part of the Soka Gakkai. I was surprised to see them here, so I'm glad. And the Soka Gakkai is a value creation society. Now, it started right after World War II.
It's not a religious group, right?
Huh? Is it a religious group?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It is a religious group, and you know, in America there is religious freedom.
Yeah.
And somehow we're losing many, many rights and many, many freedoms. And as we look over in different directions, we find out later on, oh, we've lost a right here, we've lost a right there. But so far we still have religious freedom. And thank goodness. It was in 1947 that two educators, right after the war, organized a lay organization in Japan. And you're familiar with Tina Turner, I'm sure. Tina Turner is a part of this organization. Herbie Hancock, Wayne Shorter, Patrick Duffy.
Yeah, Bobby from Dallas.
Yes, exactly.
My Bobby.
Exactly. Yes. And one of the most important tenets of this philosophy, Nichiren Shoshu, is the dignity of all life. Even the ants, the roaches. Now, this is coming back from 2,500 years ago. That's the origin of this philosophy. But it wasn't until 700 years ago that a man named Nichiren appeared. Nichiren appeared as a young man. He was born in 1222. We're talking about 13th century Japan. Feudalistic Japan, where women had very few rights. And he saw so much disparity in the streets. For example, this is Buddhism. The purpose of Buddhism is to relieve suffering and create joy. And for a 12-year-old to decide, why is this happening? When there were so many Buddhist temples all around, why is there such a split? Why isn't there one? Buddhism came from one man in India. Why do we have so many sects? What's the truth of the matter? So at 12 years old, he determined, I'm going to be the wisest person in Japan. I'm going to find out. And he studied and he visited several temples. And then at 32, he found an answer from his studying. And it's just amazing to me, before I go on, that a person at 12 years old can change the destiny of the world.
Yep.
But you know, I'm going to tell you this, you know, in talking to you, and, you know, we talking on the phone, and you know, we spoke here. You're very peaceful. You're a very peaceful person in a sense because, it's none of this, like, you think you this and you think you that. You're very, and I noticed that, and I watched that. You're very peaceful within yourself, and I think that's so important. And it could be in any religion. You had to be peaceful within yourself.
That's right. That's a very important point. Thank you, and I appreciate the compliment. I really do. And you know what? Peace starts within.
Yes.
We can't look for anybody to legislate it.
No, thank goodness.
Yeah, we can't. And we're waiting for laws, waiting for presidents, and even our president Barack Obama said he asked for us to help, our help. He said, "I'm going to need your help." He never said, "I'm going to do everything. I'm going to wave a magic wand."
No. He said he had like volunteerism. We're not sitting back here. We're not running an election thing on it.
I understand.
But I'm just saying is that you have to, like we have Miss McFarland. We have other people. Miss Sparrow come later on. You have to. You got to. It starts with you.
Yes, it does.
There's no such thing because if you're looking for, I remember Reverend Al Sharpton always mentioned on his radio program. He said, well, look, when you go home tonight, look in the mirror. That's the leader in the mirror.
That's right.
He always said that. He said, Reverend Al said, that's the leader. You got to correct his faults. You got to hook him up. He said because you're not. He said when you better leaders, when you look at yourself and improve yourself, you improve your family, you improve your community, etc., etc., etc. That is a very true statement.
Yeah. It's true. It's really, really true, and I appreciate that so much because I know that there's not one leader anywhere in anything. No. Now let's say, matter of fact, there is a mentor. Children need mentoring. And I think in our society, mentor or a sensei is an unusual concept. Most people want to do their own thing. But I can tell you, when a person is mentored, they are supported in a way. Even when children have fathers and mothers, they're raised with that. That support creates a different reality for that child. And yes. And so to have someone to be able to hold you to a higher standard and guide you is such a plus. It's a tremendous plus for us.
On that note, I would like to thank you very much for joining us today on the LMS show.
Thank you.
And you're welcome back.
Thank you. I'd love to come back.
Because you have so much to offer, my sister.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And peace is, we are creating peace. And the mentor in Japan, this is my closing statement, he said that...
They got me on the clock. Go ahead.
Yeah, he said that Nelson Mandela, okay, he's in Japan, the mentor of our organization, and he met Nelson Mandela, and they were like two peas in a pod. Nelson Mandela discovered him in prison. He read, he studied, he expanded his mind, and he told Nelson Mandela, in your people have an unprecedented person, but we need 1,000 Mandelas. How about 10,000 Mandelas? How about here in America? We need 1 million, just like you said.
Make a long story short. It's just like I tell people, like the dance, like the dance company. Like, okay, you have the dance there in Harlem, then you have the Uptown Dance Company. Now, if we create, it's not everybody competing against each other. But if we do all this, have all these dance companies, and we could take about a whole bunch of people off the street. We don't need nobody. It starts in the community.
It really does. It really does.
And on that note, I thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Love you.
Thank you.
Hey, we're coming back with more of LMS and take it down, y'all.